Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Treb the Pleb. I'm finally back, and I'm so excited. It's not much right now, but this is the office. I just got done cleaning it all out. Super, super excited. The I got the tapestry, which is super trippy and cool. If you're like watching my videos on acid, that should be a lot of fun. I got some cool LED lights coming that like change colors. I'm gonna put some pictures and some cool stuff up. But this is just a start. This is just the start. But I didn't want to wait any longer. It's so cool to get to sit in here and like at my desk with all my stuff set up. It's really exciting. So today we're doing something a little bit different. I wanted to try this out. I've made some like top 10 tier lists today. I'm repping the goat sweater. I had my I had my OBS recording set to record when I pressed R on my keyboard, and I just shot my first video, and I fucking every time I typed R, it would stop the recording, restart the recording. So I went to post it, and I was like, "Oh fuck," messed everything up. But you know what? It's okay. I think it was a little long-winded anyway. But today we're doing top 10 NBA players of all time. This one is gonna get me some upset people. I don't care. I love good banter and debating, and my mind can be changed. So if anything on this list, you're like, you're a fucking idiot, think that, tell me why. Just don't call me an idiot, please. Or do. I don't really give a fuck if you call me an idiot. Come argue with me, is what I'm saying. Come to my comments section and debate me about it. I think that would be a lot of fun. I love conversations about these different kinds of topics that I'm into and stuff. But without further ado, let's start with our number 10 player, Larry motherfucking Bird. Dude, Larry Bird. So I have him and somebody from his era closer to the 10. And a big reason I make throughout this video that I think is so important for me to make is level of competition. If you remotely believe that the competition in their era is the same as it is, say, today, or even like 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you're a fucking crazy person. I'm sorry. It's also the argument of like, it was so much more aggressive, blah, 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 blah. It fucking wasn't. You're living in a weird hallucination. It's not like people act like they were like stabbing each other on the court and stuff back in the day. That's not how it was. The physicality of the game is still prevalent today. You just don't see it the same, or you don't watch ball like that. But all that out the way, because I'm going to make that point many times in this video, so I don't want to have to keep reiterating why I feel certain ways about the old generation. Essentially, okay, last thing about that. It essentially comes down to back then, you'd be lucky if you had between 5 and 10, maybe 15 superstar level players in the league. Nowadays, you've got like 2 superstar caliber players per fucking team. That's the big difference. You don't it's not the same as it was. That being said, I'm not acting like the guys on these courts are not insanely athletic. They just aren't as skilled basketball players as we have today. The game has changed. The training has changed. The way things are done has completely changed. I'm not discrediting the athleticism or the grit of the era. I'm just stating facts. So now let's talk about why Larry Bird's a fucking gangster. This dude, him and another player who's coming up here soon, completely revolutionized the way basketball was being played. They brought it out of a dark era. Larry could do everything on the court so well, including defend. Underrated defender, I think. He he really brought it out of a dark era with a style of play that is so mesmerizing and still to this day is such a joy to watch. Uh that's the only a reason why he's not higher on top of I think the generational gap thing for me is longevity. I wish that guys like Larry would have been able to have the kind of medical science and technology that we have today to keep them healthy. Uh, he could have gone on for so much longer and put up even better career numbers than he did. Um, that's the only reason I have him starting at 10. So on to number 9. It's got to be the Slim Reaper. I didn't think he was put high enough on some things. He is the original, like pretty much the original unicorn, essentially. I know we've had unicorn-ish, but he was the one, like he was the guy you could have him bring it up the floor. He was a 7-footer who could do everything and do it at such a high level with so much speed, so much athleticism. I mean, a dude of his size should not be able to do the kinds of things he does with a basketball. Also, one of the biggest key pieces, if not the biggest key piece, that's a debate, of the Golden State Warriors, the greatest regular season of all time. Uh, he's got the ring, got what he needed, to kind of be in that conversation. I don't think I don't put as much weight on rings as a lot of people do, but I still put some weight on it. I don't act like it's not an argument to be made at all, and that's why KD is so much lower. He just hit his 30,000 points. I'm also a diehard Phoenix Suns fan, so it's not like any bias or anything. That's going to be coming up in the future with me being a Suns fan, so I don't want that to get in the way of anything. It's just you can't deny greatness like KD and such generational talent. He is so gifted and he simply actually built different. Um, I'd probably have him a little higher. Underrated defender as well. He can do everything. I think also a lot of people bring up his injury past and stuff. I don't think his injuries are that shocking with a frame like what he has. It's something that kind of comes with the territory, but God, when he's in, he is a problem. Slim Reaper, one of the coolest nicknames ever. Yeah, I can't put him much higher than where he's at. God, now you got me second guessing my list. Nope, I can't. I just can't. I can't move it. I'm not moving things around, okay? But KD number 9, I think that's fair. Just super unlucky in playoff time. Lots of injuries and things like that. I mean, they probably could have won that Toronto series with a healthy KD. Just yeah, just some unfortunate things for him. The fucking toe on the 3-point line, like so many times, KD should have either been in another finals or couldn't, and because of injuries or just that big ass long big toe of his fucks it for him. So I don't want to take anything away from him, but that's kind of just the ropes, you know. Who knows how much longer he'll go? Maybe in the next 3-4 years he could move up the list. But at number 8, it's got to be Magic. For all the same reasons I was saying for Larry Bird, but just to the next degree, because he he's he's a fucking winner, constant winner. He brought so much swagger to the NBA. Was to this day is a phenomenal ambassador for the sport. I think that's a big thing people don't talk about that needs to be talked about. Talent on the court is important, but what you can do for the league, and how you impact the league is so important. I think in these debates that doesn't get brought up enough. Um, 6'9", Magic Johnson, 6 foot fucking 9. Uh, playing could play every single position on the court. You know, some of the bigger guys, not so much, you know, but like I think the thing with Magic is he influenced the way the game was played for so long. until somebody else came along and revolutionized it again. I think he could do literally everything on a court. Another one is, longevity. Wish we could have seen more. But you can't deny how insanely gifted of an athlete he was, and what he did for the sport. The generational thing comes up. Only reason he's not so much higher on the list, or else he would be. Don't worry, Jason Williams is not on the list. All right. At number 7. It's the dream. It's got to be the dream. For all the reasons I said about Magic and then some. And then some, because I mean he took so much from Kareem. Everybody has taken so much from Kareem. He has the longevity too, which is the fucking craziest part. His longevity was insane. Did it at the highest level forever. Um can't really say enough good about him. Phenomenal defender, good passer too. Like really good passer, especially from like the post. He was able to find so many people in so many great ways. I it's hard to not put him higher, but when I look at the people ahead of him, I just think if he had played against them, he physically would not have been able to match up with them. So that's the reason why Kareem's not as high as the next people. We got a couple bigs coming your way right now, though. How about Big Shaq Diesel? Big Shaq Diesel at number 6, the most dominant force in basketball history. It will never be matched. I don't think. I keep waiting for that day we get that dude who comes and it's just like toss it down low and everyone's kind of cooked. But it's I just don't think it's ever gonna happen again. He was you can't really overstate how fucking insane Shaquille O'Neal was to watch play. I could not imagine. You could have made me 7 foot, 300 pounds. I couldn't have stopped him. The dude is a monster. Surprisingly softer hands than people give him credit for. I know the whole free throw meme and all that shit, but like his hands down low and his touch on the ball is surprisingly gentle when it needs to be. I think just pure like I just don't see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar against prime Shaq. I just don't see any way of him stopping it. I think I think Shaquille O'Neal is a once in a lifetime kind of superstar for a sport, and yeah, I'm really happy I got to watch him play. But I do have one big ahead of him. Put some motherfucking respect on Timmy fucking Duncan. Tim Duncan, okay. Greatest footwork from a big of all time, period. Go watch his film. They use his film for all big training. Like, if you're learning footwork and stuff, you're watching Tim Duncan film. Uh, one of the greatest touches on the ball, stronger than fuck. That's a lot of people, if you go listen to them talk about, like, Tim Duncan, they're like, he is one of the strongest people I've ever met. Like, he is so powerful. Tie that in with the footwork, with the length, with the ability to run the court, with the court vision, with the IQ. Tim Duncan, I almost put him higher on the list. I was flirting with him like higher. One of the greatest defenders of all time, if not the greatest defender of all time. The way the dude would position himself, his length, he was able. He was a great perimeter defender, surprisingly. In his later years, with the Spurs, not so much, but that's what happens, especially with big guys like that. He has the longevity. He's got the championships. It's so hard to argue against Tim Duncan in any way, because he's so fucking good. He is that fucking good. Put some flowers on him. I only have him above Shaq. Better shooter, better off the dribble. pretty much all the things that you could say about Shaq that Shaq can't do, Timmy could do, and was just as much of a force down low. I think I think it's so important that this guy gets talked about more in the scope of basketball. I mean, perfect. I was looking for this play right here. If this doesn't sum up exactly what I'm talking about, Shaq on Duncan, fourth quarter, clock winding down, gets to his spot, gets up, off balance, hip placement perfect, turns into the shot. I mean, boom. You can't beat it. I think that right there is the perfect representation of what I'm talking about. Watch it full screen. He was so aggressive too without being too aggressive. Whoop. Oh, such an insane shot. Great defense. Just better shot. I think Tim Duncan really is that guy, and he came along at a time where, Kobe and Shaq looked undefeatable. And the Spurs were just better than them, I think. I think that Spurs dynasty is one of the cooler ones. And as a Suns fan, that fucking hurts to say. But I think one of the greatest dynasties of all time for sure. All right. Number 4, here's where I start getting hate in the comments section. Kobe Bryant. I know, rings and cold-blooded and all that stuff, but I hope my arguments for my top 3 will kind of persuade you a little bit. I love Kobe. Really do. Again, Suns fan, I should hate his fucking guts. But I don't, and I can't. He's so fucking gifted. Probably the hardest worker of all time. I think even the greats today, they mimicked their work ethic from Kobe. Kobe and Michael. I think Kobe's way harder working than Michael. I know I'm gonna get some hate for that too, because Michael fans are fucking psychopaths. But it's true. I think he really revolutionized work ethic as a whole and showed what it can do. Nothing he can't do on the court. Never was anything he couldn't do on the court. I think I think the only thing holding me back from putting Kobe higher is just the scale of what the other people can do next after him and what they have done and some of them continue to do is just slightly better. Um but I think you give me a clutch basket, I need a clutch basket. You give me any player in NBA history, it's Kobe. Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded as fuck. I can't take that away from him. I think that's his big X factor and a reason why I will always listen to Kobe debates is because of the rings and because of that like oh, you got 3 seconds left in the game? You got Kobe on your team? It's over. Like you got it. Don't worry about it. Just give it to Kobe, set a screen, get the fuck out the way. Uh Yeah, I mean these top 4 are always so hard. I think that's what makes basketball so fun too, and these conversations so fun, is there's so many factors that go into greatness, and when you have so many people who were so great for so long, it's really, really hard to pick and choose and nitpick certain things. Um, yeah, we'll talk more. Kobe will come up in these future the top 3. Speaking of which, let's get to the top 3. At number 3, I got Steph. So here's why I have Steph. I think if you were building, think if you're building a team, right? Like an all-time team, any generation, Steph Curry fucking changes basketball forever. And he did it in the modern day. Like the game is coached differently now. It's played differently now. They train you to play basketball differently now. Brand new plays being built all the time, specifically to work around what Steph Curry implemented, which is the fact that you got someone good at shooting, you let them chuck it up, it's going to hit more times than it's not, and you're going to win championship after championship. Uh, Work ethic, incredible. Insane ambassador for the sport. One of the nicest, fucking coolest dudes. I know a lot of people hate what he's done for the sport and things, but it can't be understated just how big of a deal it was and still is, and the effects that we're still seeing from Steph Curry blowing up the way he did. Golden State Warriors' success cannot be undermined at all. They one of the most successful dynasties of all time. Big sneeze. Oh, that's the crazy part about these ad lib videos. You never know what you're gonna get. I'm definitely not reshooting this one again. I just think I mean, Kobe, better defender. Steph's pretty fucking cold blooded though. Like you got to give him that. So I'd put him near par with Kobe. Kobe better clutch time defender. But ball handling, Steph. Passing, Steph. Shooting, Steph. Um, and then you just talk about how they changed basketball. And Kobe kind of came and took the mantle from Jordan and played a very similar style to Jordan. Steph played his own style, and now it's everybody's style. It's every team's style. It's how everybody, even the fucking 7-footers, even the Victor Wembanyama's need to be able to hit their fucking threes. It is wild. I mean, they fucking. I hope it's a meme and I'm just stupid and fell for it. But like, they talk about adding 4-point lines and shit because this motherfucker's pulled up 30-footers like casually. I just don't think any of the past generations would have been ready for what Steph was doing. So he came along and turned the game of basketball completely on its head. And he's not done. That's the craziest part. Is I actually think he's got a lot left in the tank. I think Steph's going to be around for another 5 to 10 years. Probably 5-ish years. And yeah, we still have so much more to see, and it's been a fucking trip watching the guy. Um, yeah, that's one I'm open to debate about. Him and Kobe for sure. That's for that coveted 3 spot. But I think we all know who number 1s and 2 are. MJ at number 2. MJ at number 2. Level of competition. Everything I said during the beginning of the video with Bird that I thought was going to be so important coming to this stage of it. Um, Even that being said, I don't think Michael Jordan holds up in today's era with like the Steph Curry change, which is something that I think LeBron has was able to do. Like you pulling up 30-footers casually, I'm pulling up 30-footers casually. And I just don't see Mike doing that. If he had came up in this generation that we're in now, would he have been able to? Probably. But he was really built mentally and physically to attack the fucking bucket, to get off of you, to get his shot. Uh, top Probably top 5 greatest defender of all time has to be. Uh, people don't realize how good of a defender he was when you listen to people talk about how fast he was laterally, how strong he was on ball. Basically impossible to get by at times for most people. It really for me comes down to he was on one of the first 2 super teams to ever exist, like real fucking crazy top to bottom super teams. You had like what you had the Pistons, you had the Lakers, and then you had the Chicago Bulls. So I guess 3. Um, in a league where not a lot of teams had winning records were like kind of rare. If you go look at like the playoff brackets that they were in, like teams that were like the 5th and 6th seed were like 11 games below 500. It's fucking weird. Um, but what he did for basketball can't be undermined. His longevity isn't where I'd like it to be. He could have played so much longer, but he decided he wanted to be a fucking golfer and a baseball player. It's just like fucking cringe. Um, I think nostalgia is a hell of a drug for a lot of people, and I think that has a big part of it. The whole like, oh, they were trying to kill Michael Jordan out there. No, they fucking weren't. And I think that's one of the worst arguments. I think it's so stupid. You just go pull up clips. You'd be like, look how aggressive they were. And I can go pull up clips from last season of people doing the same things to each other. It's basketball. I love basketball so much, and I think a lot of people who didn't play a ton of it, like actually like 5v5 full court real basketball games, don't understand that the trenches are fucking awful. That you're getting elbowed, you're getting forearm chopped, you're getting hit your hips fucking readjusted every 2 seconds by some big motherfucker. It's not fun. It is a very much more physical sport than people give it credit for. I think the era of flopping is really what's like kind of pissed people off and made them think it's a soft sport. It's not. It's still very tough. Anyway, mic right here. So you know what it's got to be. It's LeBron James. LeBron James. I don't really know how I get the rings, I get the cold-blooded thing cuz like I even said it like if I had the last shot I'm having it's Kobe. It's Kobe and then it's probably fuck. If I need a 3, it's Kobe and Steph and Dame. If I need just a bucket, it's probably Mike and then LeBron. The thing is, sometimes with LeBron, you don't need a bucket. He's just so dominant. And he's done it for so long, been such an incredible ambassador for the sport. Uh, One of the top 3 defender of all time. Maybe top 2, maybe number 1. Can't, the fact that you can go out there and watch him drop a 30-point triple double, and then he'll also have like 3 steals, 2 blocks, but that just goes to the wayside because you're so focused on the crazy other things he's doing. 2016 playoff comeback, greatest of all time. Insane what he was able to do against a scary Warriors team when it could have been done, it could have been over. LeBron fucking doing like 40 points, like fucking he is so unbelievable. One of the best passers of all time too. Does not get enough credit for that. His court vision is ridiculous. His basketball IQ probably the highest of all time. Um, the way he treats his body, watching him do things. He's been in for over 2 decades and he's still a top 10 player in the league constantly. Constantly. I can't. I think the best argument you have against LeBron is rings and clutch time. And that's the crazy thing is like clutch time. I still want LeBron. I know it's not like I want other people more. I just think they just have that killer in them and you can see it. Uh LeBron has it a little bit, just not quite to that degree, but he plays the whole game at such a high clip constantly that you don't need it. And when you do, he can still come up for you. But that's such a rocky argument to make with everything else. I think it's just hard. I think you put him in any generation against any competition, and there is nobody who can do anything to stop LeBron James from doing what he wants to do. Oh, yep, that's my list, and I'm sticking with it. I would love to debate this. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I love ad-libbing these things. It's just fun. I like to sit down, just bullshit with the camera and mic, and just kind of talk about things I'm interested in. I don't really want to do scripts and go through a bunch of shit like that. But I hope you like the style of content. I hope you enjoy it. Please come have some conversations with me about this list. Tell me how stupid I am and how right you are. I'd love that. And yeah, I'm about to make like 3 more of these. I'm really excited. Okay. The next ones are a little different. So if you liked this video, tune in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace, guys.